back with American Idol Katharine McPhee and her sister Adriana. You're now in the process of putting together this musical career that's going gangbusters. But one of the issues that, I think it's going to be fine. That's my diagnosis. It's going to go fine. Trust me. I didn't have to go to psychiatry school for that. It's going to go very well. One of the reasons that I think it's going to go well is I heard something very encouraging about you.
Oh.
Oh. Namely, that you were not sure that the songs you were being given by, I suppose, producers for you to sing going forward were absolutely the things that you should sing. Is that true?
On the album?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they played me this one song, and I really liked it, and I got in the studio, and the producer is this great producer. He's won a Grammy last year. I mean, he was great. But, you know, it's having me sing it just like the girl, the demo girl, and it comes out, and it sounds like any other demo girl.
Demo girl.
Yeah,
right.
and it's just like, it's things like that that I have to be so careful about, because
Absolutely.
this is my debut album. This is a huge deal. You know, I have to make sure that it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be me. Right.
Okay. I know that you were into, that part of what got you well was called intuitive eating.
Right.
Now tell me about that.
You have it.
I have intuitive eating. I'm going to read you a sentence from intuitive eating later.
It's a pretty powerful book. When I entered the program, they said, you know, they wanted you in the first week to read that book. Unfortunately, you know, we had nutritionists.
He said, don't make me read stuff. That's what my teachers did. No, I'm kidding.
Seriously, though. No, but I still have a little connection to that. I still have to, like, you know, it's amazing how much we have to retrain ourselves from when we're little, because I still have to, like, pick up a book and go, it's okay.
Like, you're just amazing. I got to say, like, people don't generally do this, right? People don't, in the middle of their careers, tell us that they struggled with bulimia, and by the way, I also had a reading problem, in case there are millions of Americans out there, which there are, who struggled in just that way. So I'm just so you know.
Oh, thank you.
It's an amazing thing. I mean, I know your singing career is going to go well, but what you're doing with your life, miraculous. Did the Idol contestants and judges know?
No, I mean, definitely not the judges. I mean, maybe they did. The only people who really knew, they do this whole screening thing before you actually are accepted into the top 24, and, you know, you tell like a small amount of people just to screen you. And I remember talking to the producer, and he was like, towards the end of the Idol thing, he was like, you know that the head of those people were actually debating on whether or not they were going to put you in the top 24 because you had, you were recovering from an eating disorder. It's just interesting, the stigma that people have, that the lack of education.
So tell me about this technique you learned, intuitive eating.
Sorry, yeah,
but we could talk all day, so you know, we better get back to intuitive eating. Yeah, right. So how does it work? The core of intuitive eating that you learned was what?
Basically, you allow yourself, we all have, like, with an eating disorder, even if you don't have an eating disorder, you all have, like, a food that, you know, I hear people say all the time, no, you should not have that chocolate cake right now. You better not have that cookie right now. You know, it's like, no, I can't eat that. That's not good for me. I'll gain. It's like, I took the foods that I was so scared of, and I ate, like, the little mini Snickers. Like, I remember they'd give them to me for my meals. Like, we had 3 meals a day, and at every meal and snack I'd have on top of the actual meal, I had, like, 2 little mini Snickers. And if, you know,
just to not be afraid of it.
Not be afraid of it, and it loses that, like,
the stigma.
That thing that,
that it's a bad.
Do that again. I love it. And I mean, not to draw too much of an analogy, but I do like to draw analogies.
You go, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, my therapist. From intuitive eating to intuitive singing, essentially is what you've told us, because you're using your intuition to guide you in singing from your heart, even though people who are supposed to supposedly know exactly what's going to sell say, no, no, do it this way. You're like, yeah, I don't think so, not so much.
Right.
And I think that promises us, me too, because I'll be watching, that we're going to get a special gift, because you've filtered out some of the outside influences coming from your heart, which I think is tremendous. Now, there is a sentence in intuitive eating that I'll read to you. We must also strongly say that someone who is seeking help for an eating disorder must be dealing with emotional issues that may have been a precursor to the development of the disorder, as well as a factor in its maintenance. So In terms of that theme in the story, can you tell us what was the heart of that emotional issue for you? What did you learn when you confronted the eating disorder about yourself?
Probably that I just didn't feel worthy or deserving of, you know, love and acknowledgement. And, you know, I still have those feelings, but I don't have an eating disorder to cover up those feelings. I deal with those feelings and I go, okay, let's sit with the feelings, you know, what does that feel like? Even just like, just people who say mean things about me, you know, in the press and the media. It's painful, it's horribly painful, but you just have to remember that they're hurting too.
And the conjecture, where were you recently? You know, you weren't on tour, all these theories.
That was horribly painful for me. I mean, like, you know, during Idol, I didn't really pay attention to any of the stuff that was written about me, and because I was sick and I was out for 3 weeks, I had so much time. And
missed the tour.
Unfortunately, I was on the internet and, you know, came across things that just people say are so mean and...
Like what?
Oh, like, unbelievable, she's missing the tour. How could she do that? She's missing the whole tour. She's off shooting a movie.
And that you might not want to be on the tour. I mean,
yeah, that she thinks she's better than American Idol. And it's amazing. It's like, I don't even know that person. They're probably thousands of miles away, or, and I don't know, maybe it gives them great joy for them to hear that I got the message. And you know what, if it does, then okay.
Yeah. But, no, what gives us great joy, actually, is you sharing your truth with us, because it reassures me, and I think it would reassure anyone, that everyone confronts certain demons, and that when you face them, you grow. You don't do anything but help others and help yourself. So thank you for helping us. We'll be right back. We're back, and we're talking with Katharine and Adriana McPhee. There are millions of young women watching you probably right now. If you could think of one of them struggling with an eating disorder, what would you tell that young woman?
I would just say that there is a solution to, you know, an eating disorder, and I'm not just speaking of eating disorders, but, you know, addictions, that you are able to overcome it, and I think, you know, just asking for help is the first start. So here's to your new life.
Thank you. A lot of you watching today have idolized Katharine. You want to be a singer or performer, but I can tell you, imitating Katharine and her sister in their honesty is the best thing you can do. For more information on eating disorders, log on to our website. Get help if you need it, because your story matters.